Hello besties, how are you? How are you guys doing? We've reached the end of the year and it's kind of crazy that 2022 has gone by so fast and that I'm filming my last TBR for the year, but we're here. And yeah, so let's get into it. The last TBR. So I want to first start off by saying this month we're doing the absolute most once again because there's so many readathons that were announced for December, and me being me, once I found a readathon I was like, yep, I'm gonna do it, and so here we are, we're doing it. So let's get right into it. The first readathon that I have is the Reindeer readathon, which is hosted by Break Even Books and a slew of other hosts, but Break Even Books was the video that I saw. I will leave all of the links for all of the hosts down in the description if you guys want to go check them out for yourselves. But for the prompts for this readathon, we have 𝚬𝚎, finish a series or pick up a book that you started and put down. So for that one, I'm picking up 6 Crimson Cranes. I was supposed to read this book earlier this year, I think back in like February maybe, and I got like 50 pages into it and then I put it down and then I never picked it up again. It did appear on some TBRs throughout the months, but I still never read it. And with the sequel out, I'm like, yeah, we just need to go ahead and read this one. 𝚬𝚜, a book with a cursive or flowy or elegant font on the cover. I don't have very many, and so for that I chose Bloom just because it's in cursive, and I've actually been wanting to reread this after I found out that there's going to be a second book. So yeah. Prancer, a book with your favorite season on the cover, or the book cover has colors from your favorite season. Now I'm a fall gal through and through. Don't give me any weather that's too hot, don't give me anything that's too cold. So like put me right at like the beginning of fall when it's like, it's nice, it's cool, we're chilling. And for that I chose Alex Approximately just because, you know, it has like those warm tones on it. And so yeah. Vixen, a book you want to read but think it might be overhyped. So for this, I've seen quite a few people hype this book up, but I've also seen quite a few people be like, nah sis, this ain't it. This is not the book to be reading, but that is Love on the Brain. I know that it's pretty similar to The Love Hypothesis with it being like STEM and everything. But other than that, I don't really know much about this one, and I guess we'll see how it goes. I hope that I do enjoy it, but we'll see. Comment, a book with an astronomical word in the title, sun, moon, star, sky, etc. For that, I have chose Forging Silver into Stars. It has stars in the title. I picked this book up. Well, I pre-ordered this book not knowing anything about it. I was just like, Bridget Kemmerer, I've enjoyed her book so far, I'm just gonna pre-order it. And then I found out that this is a spin-off series to the Cursebreakers trilogy, and I was like, oh, okay, so we'll go back into this world and hopefully it's a good time. And I guess we'll see how it differs from the Cursebreakers trilogy, and I'm really hoping that I enjoyed this book more than I enjoyed the last 2 books in that series. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Cupid, a book with a favorite trope in it. For that one, I also chose to read Bloom for this prompt. This is a friends to lovers trope, and like I'm a sucker for those type of tropes. Like give me all the romances and like the friendship leading up to it. Like I'm here for it. Donner, a book that you want to read but are not a fan of the cover. So for that I chose the Firekeepers Daughter. Like it's still a very pretty cover, but from what I know, this book is like a thriller mystery type book. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling the cover of it. Like it's still pretty, but yeah, I don't know. There's just something about this cover that I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. 𝚊𝚑𝚘𝚗. Use a random number generator to find a number between 0 and 9 and find a book that ends in that page number. Oh, I'm actually going to do that one right now. All right, between the numbers 1 and 9. Okay, so the number I got is 3. Now I need to find a book that ends in 3. Let's see right here. Let's see. Next one. So it ends in a 5. This one ends in an 8. 𝚁𝚎𝚅. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Bloom is really coming through for me today. So this ends in a 3. It's okay. It has 353 pages in it, so we're gonna use Bloom for this one as well. Last but not least, Rudolph, start a new series. So this one, like, I think this book just came out this year, I'm pretty sure. I have seen that it's already going to have a sequel, so that's exciting, and that is Ordinary Monsters. I don't know anything about this. I just saw on Olivia Reads a Latte, she had picked up this book, and my reading taste usually lines up with her. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick this up too. And that's what ended up happening. And it's gonna be a fun time, hopefully. So the next readathon that I'm doing is 𝚤𝚘𝚗𝚜 Backlist Readathon. I recently found out about this on Sam's channel. Like I said, I'll have them linked down below along with her other host. And this seemed like just a cute, fun little one where I could just read some of the books that are on my shelf. And so that's what we are going to do. It is a prompt board, but I did try to pick a few books that will work for this one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, things are gonna work out fine. The first book I have for this readathon is Motor Crush, and this is fitting a prompt for me to read a comic, and it probably fits some other prompts, but yeah. This one, I don't know anything except there's like racing, and that's it. I got it just because it's a really pretty cover. I don't know, and it was speaking to me. It was like, buy me Janessa, pick me up, and so that's what I did. The next book that I do have is Nothing More to Tell. I usually just buy Karen and McManus books without really knowing much about them, and that's exactly what I did with this one. I just picked it up at my library, don't know anything about it, except obviously there's some murder. Don't know who was murdered, but yeah. So I'm actually excited to get through this one. This will be pretty quick, I'm guessing, because it doesn't take long to get through her books. And yeah, I'm hoping that it's gonna be a fun time. So this next book that I have, I've honestly been putting off reading because it is the last book in a series that I've really been loving, and I just didn't want the series to end, but I was like, this fits a prompt, and so I'm just gonna suck it up and read this book, and that is Jade Legacy. This is the 3rd book in the Bone Saga, and yeah, I'm just excited to finally read this one, but also a little sad because I enjoyed this world that Fondly created, and this really has become one of my favorite series that I've ever read. And seeing it come to an end is a little bittersweet, but I'm excited to see 𝚁𝚘𝚗 again. Like, I feel 𝚁𝚘𝚗 was one of my favorite characters, and just seeing his life now should be pretty interesting. The next book that I have is also part of a series. The series is pretty much as old as I am, and there's like 20, 22, 23 books within this series, and then like 3 books that are like side series but still part of the series. And that is Edge of Darkness. This is a vampire romance, and this is the last book in that little 3-book series. So looking forward to finally finishing this off, because I've been trying to get through this series since I was 15 and I'm now 24. So I gotta finish this. It's been way too long. So I am looking forward to kind of just seeing where all these characters are going now, because we've had a different character for each book, and it's been a lot. Like, I don't remember much of anything from that series, but this book I am looking forward to, because there was Knox, who I was interested in when he was introduced in an earlier book, so I'm excited that he's getting his own. So I just read the Atlas 6 earlier this year, absolutely loved it, so of course I had to pick up the Atlas Paradox so I could read that as well. Don't know what it's going to be about, but I am hoping, you know, that some things get resolved, because we left off on a cliffhanger in the last one. I was like, okay, please don't leave me hanging anymore. And so I've gotten this, and I'm so excited to read it. The next readathon that I am participating in is the Festive Readathon, which is hosted by Steph Loves. It's only a weekend one, and so I try not to pick too many books and overdo it. We'll see how that goes. First book I have is a Very Married Romance. I'm looking forward to this one because it's about our little country singer, and I think it's going to be fun to jump back into that world, because I just read the first 4 books, but like, you know, I missed the Russian, Grant, the other ones whose names that I'm blanking on, and this will be fun because all the other ones were never around Christmas, and so this will be nice to see this one being a little more Christmas themed and a romance going on, and yeah, I'm living for it. Next I have In a Holidays. I've had this book for way too long and have not read it, and with it being December, it's time for me to just read it, get it out of the way, see if I enjoy it or not. It is Christina Lauren, and anyone who knows me knows I enjoy Christina Lauren books. So I have high hopes for this one, and I hope that I'm not going to be let down. The last book that I do have for this little readathon is The Holiday Trap. I don't know anything, like always, nothing new here. It's a Christmas book, and I think they're trapped somewhere together. And so I'm looking forward to reading this. I think it is, honestly, I don't know what it's about. Even reading it, I'm like, ugh, I don't know. So I'm just going to stop reading the back of it. And yeah, I think this will be fun. I don't read very many holiday themed books, so I'm excited to read these ones and kind of see how I feel about them and what I think. Okay, and the last readathon that I'm participating in is Escape 24 and 48, which is hosted by Rylan and 𝚬𝚎, and I couldn't off the top of my head find any books that were really fitting the prompts, but one of them was like have turquoise on the cover, and so I picked On a Sunbeam. There isn't much turquoise, but I was like, hey, I'll take it. And I tried reading this a while ago, and then I think I like put it down and never picked it back up again. So I'm hoping to finish it this time, and yeah, just clear some more of these books off my shelf and makes room for some new ones for the new year. Okay, so even though I am doing these 4 readathons, I thought, what the hell, let's add on some books that don't even count towards any of these prompts, one of them being Things We Do in the Dark. I've been wanting to read this, honestly, since it came out, and I just kept pushing it back. I was like, no, now's not the time to read it. I was gonna read it in October, never got around to it, and so I'm like, December is my time to finish this book. Next, I have The Spanish Love Deception. I know that people either love this book or absolutely hate this book, so I'm looking forward to reading this and kind of just seeing how I feel about it. I'm really stepping into my romance era, and so I'm hoping that I like this one and that I'm not one of those people that wind up like not feeling it. So we'll see how this one goes. So I've been wanting to reread this book for a while, and going into the new year I was like, might as well end this year off with a bang. We might as well go out with me reading one of my favorites, and that is The Starless Sea. I always recommend this book to people, but when they ask what it's about, I'm honestly like, girl, good question, I don't know. I just know that I really enjoyed it, and so I'm really looking forward to rereading it and kind of seeing if I get a better understanding for it, and hope and pray that I'm not just dumb and didn't know and not grasping what was going on. So yeah, I think this, well, I know this will be a great time rereading it again and jumping back into this world and seeing Alex, I think his name was, and I would be completely wrong, his name is Zachary. So looking forward to this one. And the last books that I'm hoping to read in December are Vicious and Vengeful by Ms. V.E. Schwab. I read Vicious a while ago and I really enjoyed it. I think I read it in like a couple of hours. Like, it was a very quick book to get through. And since then, I never completed the series. So I kind of just saw Vengeful sitting on the shelf at my library, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up, and I'm gonna read both of these books just so I can finally complete this series. And I'm kind of excited to go back into it and see these two guys, you know, who used to be friends trying to kill each other. I think, you know, that's a fun time. Okay, so that is it for this TBR video. I have 21 books that I'm trying to read this month, and oh boy, I think that I probably bit off a little more than I can chew, but I would not be me if that was not something that I constantly seem to do. So I guess we'll see at the end of the month if I manage to accomplish this or anything. I really hope that I do, because I would like to go into 2023 with absolutely no books that I need to finish. I would like to finish all of these this month. So I guess we'll kind of see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know kind of, you know, what your goals are before going into 2023. And I will see you guys in the new year.